Welcome back to the Blue Door Pub Thunderdome for another Bull with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Show about everything and nothing at the same time. 5 days a week. Sports adjacent. Actually, going to talk about sports today. Sin Shotgun is Uncle Nick. Follow him on Twitter at Nickason. Hey.
Hi. Glad to be here today.
Hola. You enjoying that green tea? Y'all want some green tea? Green tea?
I am drinking some nice green tea, homemade green tea. It is excellent.
Yeah, since I'm Asian and not of the Southern ilk. Oh, well, no, hold on. If I was a Southern Asian, like a Japanese person who lived in Georgia, I wonder if I would make sweet green tea.
I think you would.
Yeah. So you just take some green tea and then dump a pound of sugar in it. Called sweet tea. Hey, you know what's good drinking the sweet tea is because of all the antioxidants. As the doctor lops off your foot because of diabetes.
That one time.
Tell a friend, spread the word. iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, bullshow.co. Also like us on Facebook.com/bullshow. And hey, Nick, let me tell you. So you're currently in the business of trying to find a new domicile, a new house in the Twin Cities. Help navigate the tumultuous waters of the Twin Cities market. Real estate market with Josh Pelto, our man over at RE/MAX Preferred. Know him, love him, trust him, hit him up. Specialized first-time home buyers, and also if you're upgrading, if you're moving on up, just like Nick. Well, moving on up like the Jeffersons, except you're more like Jimmy Walker.
Shut up, what?
Dynamite. Dynamite. And hey, buying, selling, whatever, Josh will help you. And also, here's the key thing about him. He returns phone calls, which if you've ever dealt with a real estate agent or a lawyer or anything like that, the most annoying thing is that the contact. Oh, contractors too. Yeah, especially that too. Josh will always return your calls, always in contact. Always make sure that your home buying or selling experience is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hit him up, 763-213-4617, 763-213-4617, or josh.pelto at remax.net. Hit him up. Josh Pelto, RE/MAX Preferred. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
So when you buy a house, you should use Josh, although I know that your aunt's a real estate agent, so maybe that's not going to work out.
I mean, it's always good to have a second opinion. I visited his website. It looks promising, and it's always good to have a second eye on it, You should OJ this bitch. You should get your aunt, who will be your Robert Shapiro. Josh can be your Johnny Cochran. Yeah. Which, if you met Josh or you've seen a picture of Josh, he's the opposite of Johnny Cochran. Yeah.
Yeah. But just dream team up this real estate venture.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
That's what you should do. Today, talking a little bit of the NCAA tournament because Andy is the smartest man alive.
Shut up and take my money.
Because, just looking at my bracket, I have two certain teams making the final, with one certain team winning the final, and those two teams are Gonzaga and the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I'm breathing in, ho, ho, ho.
Look at you, sir. Undercut
It's okay, Nick. It's okay.
It's not easy to do, man, to have the final two picks. I mean, picking out 64 teams, and, generally you think it, more or less could be like, the number one seeders of, so-and-so. It's not easy. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's so difficult picking two number one seeds to make it to the end. It's so rough. It's funny, the past 2 years, the tournament hasn't really had any, big Cinderella runs. I guess you could count South Carolina as a 7th seed, making it all the way to the Final Four before losing to Gonzaga. But overall, the past couple of years have been chalk. And it's been the people who pick the boring bracket, which I did this year, that have reaped the benefits.
Yeah, it's because you eventually want to see a Cinderella story. You want to see a team, you want to see a 13-seed team or something make it to the Sweet 16. You want to see... I don't know. There's something about that Cinderella story that a lot of people like, and and there are those occasions where it happens where where one of them gets so far, and then you feel all smug when you I knew number 13th Wyoming was going to go this far or whatever, so yada, yada, yada. But for me doing all the brackets I'm pretty conservative, and I try picking a lot of 1 to 3 seeders to make it most of the way, if not all the way. And, a lot of them, you just get frustrated when the 1 seeder you pick, like Villanova, gets ousted. It's painful.
Looking through I think the lowest ranked team to ever win a national title was Villanova. I'm going to try and find the rank here. Like Villanova back in the day, not Villanova last year. Let's see, yeah, this is good stuff. Villanova was a... God, I hate this. But looking at some of the lower ranked seeds that have made the Final Four, Nick, look up what rank the 1985 Villanova basketball team was.
Okay.
Syracuse was a 10 seed last year. Then Syracuse fell off a cliff. Wichita State made the Final Four in 2013 as a 9 seed. VCU, probably the last true Cinderella to make a big run in the dance. Virginia Commonwealth, Shaka Smart, before he took the Texas job back in 2011, was an 11 seed because, even though Syracuse was a 10 seed, I mean, they're still friggin' Syracuse. And then, of course, George Mason, the 11 seed in 2006, make it all the way to the Final Four. Those are some fun runs. And I feel like most people, they like the Cinderella stories early on where, hey, you make the Sweet 16, but then eventually, it's time to go away. The big boys are playing now. And Gonzaga, who started off as the perennial Cinderella team, turned into a national power, which isn't easy. Big props to Mark Few out there in Spokane because, well, number one, Nick, do you know where Gonzaga is? Well, yeah, I just said it, but do you know where it is?
No, not exactly.
Okay. A lot of people, it's in Washington State in Spokane. A lot of people think, oh, Seattle, that's not too bad to recruit from. No, Spokane is basically Idaho. So you're trying to get premier basketball talent to come to the middle of nowhere, eastern Washington / Idaho. That's not tough. That's very tough to do. And they become a perennial power. And now, Monday, tonight, if they can seal it off with a national championship over one of the most historic basketball programs in the country in North Carolina, huge.
I'm looking up the 95 tournament winner was UCLA.
85.
Oh, I think it's a 95. You know what? These microphones are broken. That's it.
It's okay, Nick. Yeah. But overall, that's pretty exciting about Gonzaga. And I feel this is, you don't get this in college football. Like maybe to a degree of Boise State, but seeing one of the truly small-time guys coming through and making a run, it's pretty impressive.
8-seat Villanova.
Oh, that's not even that low.
I mean,
screw you, Villanova.
That's still, it's not a top 4. It's incredible.
So I'm rooting for the Zags tonight, and bring me home my cash. Bring home my cash.
I have North Carolina winning in one of my bar brackets, so I hope they win, even though I'm not going to win the overall.
Rap metal in her eyes. Oh, also the women's basketball. UConn has been dominant for a long stretch here. Won multiple national titles. 111 straight games under Coach Gino Auriemma. Now, you respect the dominance. And they were taken down by Mississippi State in overtime, 66-64 on Friday. Yeah. And you obviously respect the dominance. And I don't know if they're good or bad for the sport, though. Like, if you say that they're bad to have a single team just completely lay waste and dominate a sport, people will call you racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe for some reason. But I didn't, not going to lie, back in the day, I did enjoy women's college basketball when it was UConn and Tennessee and Louisiana Tech were getting into the mix as well. I know that Baylor had a bit of resurgence here, but when it was truly UConn and Tennessee, back when Pat Summitt was at Tennessee, RIP, and they had some great battles. It's much better for a sport, even a fringe marginal sport like women's college basketball, and that's not disparaging them. That's just calling a spade a spade. It's better when there's two powers that go back and forth. where there's a rivalry, where there's an arms race. But when it's just one team constantly just beating the shit out of the other teams, it doesn't make for good viewing. It doesn't grow the sport.
Is this coach like the most winningest coach? Is Gino?
He's going to be on his way. He's a little bit younger, but yeah, he's racking up wins pretty fast.
I think a lot of players coming out of Connecticut, UConn, are in the WNBA.
Oh yeah, it's basically
yeah.
a factory. Yeah,
that's insane. That's incredible. I mean, good coaching. They must be doing some good scouting. It must be a collection of everything. I feel bad and guilty, that hey, I don't watch women's basketball to answer the question if they're really that good or not. But
they were beating teams in the NCAA tournament by 50. Yeah, and not like early on, like late. And this is what happens with women's college basketball recruiting. You have a great player, local player like Rachel Banham, who was on the Gophers the past couple of years, graduated last year, something like that. Anyway, great story, great scorer. I think she was from Lakeville. And she stayed here. She became a star, stayed at home, got a great education. Or she could have gone to UConn, rode the bench for 2 to 3 years, maybe got some playing time towards the end, maybe is just a role player. But you'll see a lot of the premier talent going that route. And that is a big that's big compliments to Gino Ariema and his staff recruiting. Is like, hey, you come into the Story program, you're going to be part of a winning tradition. You may not play for a couple of years, but hey, you're going to come here to the middle of nowhere. By the way, Storrs, Connecticut is basically like cow pasture land, and it works. But they went down. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of happy about it.
Happy about a defeat.
Now, it is good when there's like multiple teams that are at the top, sniping, going back and forth. They have great rivalry. Or like think of like the Celtics and the Lakers back in the day. The Bulls, the Pistons. It's great for the sport. Or Manning and Brady when the Colts and the Patriots are both good. Well, when the Patriots were good, and having one dominant team where everyone has an opinion. It is good in this respect where. If you have a single team that is dominant, everyone has an opinion on them, that will generate interest in the sport because either people love the Yankees or hate the Yankees, love the Patriots, hate the Patriots. And UConn's women's basketball, I don't think people go as far as to say they hate UConn women's basketball. They obviously respect it, but also there's a faction that doesn't see it as beneficial to the sport. We'll say that.
Interesting. I would never thought of it like that.
And here's the last shot.
William on the drive. Pull up
pass. That says something a lot this year with a number of games, and in that last those last seconds, that last final. Layup, obviously in the NBA you see a lot of like that last crucial couple minutes are always the end. Man, I didn't realize with college basketball, like it's that final second. It's incredible.
That is really all that matters.
So you can just kind of goof off during the first, 40? How many minutes are there in a college basketball game? Is it 40 minutes? Is it 2 20-minute?
Yeah, 2 20-minute halves. Yeah, they play half. Actually, I think in women's they play quarters.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah. Either way, that's basketball. Cool. I need to make a case for kebabs because kebabs and shawarma and like tacos al pastor, like anytime that you have meat that is on a spit or grilled. In sections on a skewer, I'm all in.
On a skewer,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I love grilling. Filipinos, we grill.
I feel like it's very underrated, and you'll see kebab style cooking in a lot of cultures. Like you see it a lot in Korean barbecue, and I feel like in the pantheon of food, and especially since everyone is. Having like meatgasm and the meat sweats in places like Fogo de Chao or Brazilian steakhouses are delicious, but the kebabs, underrated. Very, very underrated.
I think a lot of people are intimidated by trying to grill, especially with like if you have the wooden stick kebabs. I know Filipinos. My dad has great barbecue. He marinates the meat for at least a day, and then you put it on these wooden skewers, about foot and a half, long skewers, and you put it on the grill. It's like you're afraid you burn stuff. Sometimes you get nervous.
It's the easiest way to cook.
You have to constantly watch them.
No, that's a great thing. You constantly flip them, you baste them, you pour a little beer on them.
Some people don't like that. Some people just like to put in a crock pot.
I want to know, you're a big connoisseur of the State Fair, and this is meat on a stick, which is literally up the State Fair's alley. How many kebab places are there?
In the state, God, there has to be dozens.
Oh, thank God. Good. I was gonna say if there's like 2 or 3, and they weren't even that popular, I would be pissed.
Okay, I'm using a term loosely. Anything on a stick. I mean, the State Fair of Minnesota is always known for their everything's on a stick. There's cheeses on a stick. There's fruit on a stick. There's candy bars on a frickin' stick.
Al Franken on a steak.
Talking about straight up kebabs, like the ones you talk about, the meat, maybe alternating vegetables and stuff. I would say maybe 3 or 4, but there's always new stuff coming in, especially in the food buildings. There's a ton of places have maybe a kebab style option.
You mentioned the alternating of the meat and the vegetables. That's actually not the way to do it, because the meat and all the various vegetables cook at different rates. So you have to have skewers of meat, skewers of a single vegetable, another vegetable. So what we did, we got skewers of chicken, skewers of pork, skewers of peppers and tomatoes, and some people do potatoes. I love red onions, like cut, quartered, delicious, mushrooms as well. And then what you do at the end, you take them off the skewers, everything in a nice little bowl, and then you just mix it all together. Oh, man, it's so good.
So you don't eat it off the stick?
Nah.
That's a Filipino thing. That's what my dad, first of all, we don't do vegetables. F vegetables. We do straight up pork little cubes.
Wait. Filipinos doing pork doesn't sound accurate.
Believe it or not, Filipinos, we eat pork.
Filipinos love to pork.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I'm very interested of getting into the shawarma stuff. Like that's gonna be my next thing.
I don't think I don't know if I've ever had actual shawarma. Like been done.
Is your only experience the Avengers?
Yes.
The end credit scene.
Yes.
Like at shawarma, but man, it's such a. I like to do such a cultural hodgepodge at the end where you got your kebabs, you got the grilled vegetables, then you got your pita bread. I actually don't make a gyro. I just rip off sections of the bread and then make like mini sandwiches with a single piece of the meat, have some vegetables, put hummus on it, or the Greek tzatziki sauce, like the yogurt-based cucumber sauce with a little mint on it. Yeah. So it's not ethnically homogenous. It's very heterogeneous, but I don't care. It's amazing. And we're watching this video of this guy making shawarma right now.
Heat oven, wow.
Yeah.
450.
He's baking it. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's also very easy.
It didn't look too difficult how he did it here.
Yeah.
Very just put everything in a pan.
He baked it.
When I hear the word shawarma, I think of that second picture there, the giant spick thing, and you kind of
spit.
Spit.
Yeah.
Spick.
Yeah. Spick is not correct.
Spick. What's a spick?
That's a derogatory term about Mexican Americans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Spit.
Sorry. Spit. Sorry. All right. Did not know that. Okay.
Well, now you know. Well, it's a good thing that you didn't, because Tacos El Pastor, a lot of taco trucks will do this, where they'll have the condensed meat on a stick, and then it's grilled, and they shave it off. So it's a good thing you didn't go like, hey, can I get some meat off that spick? And then they'd be like, hey. Yeah. All right, so gyro meat does this a lot. Tacos al pastor, shawarma, where maybe I'll just have to buy a meat spit.
Could you do it? You could build like a barbecue pit outside.
Yeah, it'd be good. It is kind of dicey. Like I feel like you'll get food poisoning one time in 20.
Why would you get food poisoning?
Well, a lot of the places, the meat goes onto the spit uncooked, and it cooks as it rotates, and then it shaves off. They shaved off the cooked parts, and then exposes some more raw meat, and then that gets cooked and then shaves it off. So it's a little dicey how they do it, but oh man, it is so good. And you think it's very easy what they do: thinly sliced or small, meat in small pieces, lots of seasoning, lots of fresh garlic. Some places do ginger, lots of salt and pepper, and lots of just all the good stuff. Really good marinade, and man, it's so delicious. It's so cheap, and you can take all the throwaway pieces of meat. You can do the thighs. You can do all the offals. You can do everything like that.
So how different? I guess so. I know my lingo a little bit better. Shawarma from euros. I like you because I've been to like obviously this is using a chain. Do you know euros? I love euros to death.
Yeah, euros are good.
Do they make them the same way, kind of on that spit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
I think that's the closest thing I'd have. Say that I have shawarma. I've never been to the infamous Fogo de Chao in downtown Minneapolis. I hear it's fantastic.
Yeah, we have to go sometime. We'll go there for lunch.
Okay.
Lunch is the way to go. I love just mixing in all my stuff. So you got kebabs from the Middle East. You got shawarma, which is Ottoman in origination, so Turkey. Then you got like the gyro stuff and the tzatziki sauce from Greece. And then you got hummus from Egypt / Turkey. Like, I don't care. It's like mixing it all up. It's like having sauerkraut spaghetti. Essentially, if you think about it, and like the fact that you're mixing up the cuisines of these various regions, but I don't care. It's also good. Pita bread also very, very underrated.
I do like pita bread.
Yeah,
I think
pita.
I think we live in a good world where we have these options available. Especially even if you think the Midwest. I mean, like how would we have food like this? Minnesota, thankfully, very diverse. A lot of cultures, a lot of food throughout the Twin Cities. Minneapolis, definitely a lot of areas. You could all sample this in many different areas. You just go on Google, use web search engine. You can find a lot of places that are available in the suburbs as well. There's always sometimes just a hole in the wall culture place. I always recommend going with someone who's been there before, just so because what bothers me is if you have those two people in front of you who have never been to a shawarma place or never been to restaurant A before, and who have no idea what they're ordering or what they're trying to do. Yep. I feel like they stall stuff.
Yeah, can I get the 50-50 shawarma plate with tabbouleh, please? Yeah. Here's the great thing is, all this stuff is relatively healthy too. It's going to be fresh. It's not going to be packed with preservatives or sugar or anything like that. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why you don't see 400-pound Middle Eastern people.
Why is that?
Well, that and they don't have enough food, but only the rich. Like some of the sheiks get pretty fat, but that's because they're on a Western diet now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that is all. I don't know what we accomplished there, but I love kebabs. I love shawarma. I love pita bread. Yeah.
This should just be called the food podcast. I was trying to start. I want to because I have my own podcast, the Nick Son podcast, which I haven't touched since starting this show.
That's the only thing you haven't touched in the past couple months. Ayo.
Oh, dick.
Got a red dot above your house.
Food podcast.
Yeah, a Twin Cities foodie podcast I think would be pretty decent. What's the best place that you've gone to recently?
Obviously I'm trying to save money and not go out a lot, but obviously I go out all the time. And I love breakfast food. And today for breakfast I went to a hole-in-the-wall dining place called Coffee Cup, which is just straight up wholesome breakfast food. big plates, big portions. You have to pay cash, straight up cash, homie. That's all they don't take check, they don't take credit card. Very simplistic.
Oh, so it's like that one famous Al's breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite go-to breakfast places. I love going out for breakfast. It's my weekend splurge. Obviously, I work a 40-hour-a-week job, and have granola bars typically Monday through Friday to get me going through the day. Having a nice warm breakfast though, that's why I love Saturdays and Sundays. So I wake up early so I can grab breakfast.
Now, do you make breakfast a lot at home?
No. Not anymore.
Okay. If you had to pick one breakfast for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Wow.
Because I'll go with mine. I'll go. I really like whole wheat toast, like when it's done toasty. Like we have Ezekiel bread, and that's like some really hardcore, like organic sprout stuff. When that's toasted, and then you put a little on it, it's amazing. I think it's more of a textural thing than if you have white bread or like the processed wheat bread, etc. And then just like a straight up, really good Denver omelet. The 3 or 4 egg omelet. You got the cheddar cheese, ham. Onions, peppers, tomatoes, mushrooms. It's just simple, delicious, good. Oh, and hash browns. The shredded hash browns, and make sure that they're like really crispy. Yeah, that's delicious. I don't really like pancakes.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, like everyone talks about waffles and pancakes and French toast. I could do without it.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm not 6 anymore.
I'm now getting into eggs. I was never an egg fan growing up. I don't know what it was. So, slowly getting into scrambled eggs. I like. I don't like. I know it sounds cheesy to say. I don't like them too eggy, cheesy tasting. So I like them a little light, but like a little brownish.
You like them really cooked really well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I really cooked just straight up scrambled.
Cheese. Praise Jesus.
I could go without. It doesn't matter. I was never big, as I said, not being big into eggs. I don't really care for omelets, but I could probably do cheese. But straight up scrambled eggs. Mm-hmm. What a lot of diners call a ranch breakfast is like scrambled eggs, the toast, hash browns, and then a meat, either bacon or sausage.
Are you bacon or sausage?
I'm a bacon guy usually.
All right, I've gotten a lot of shit for this too, but bacon is like The Wire, where it can be simultaneously really good and overrated. Because I feel like the hype around bacon is overhyped past its station.
I didn't think this was possible, but this is possible. I found out this year was that there is good bacon and there's bad bacon.
Oh yeah,
and I'll do the same argument with sausage too, and which is why I'm kind of iffy on saying I want a bacon or sausage with my breakfast, because not all places do it differently. Sometimes you prefer a different flavor one day versus the other. But I confidently say bacon more just because I've had more better bacons than I've had bad bacons. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Versus sausage, it's
feel with bacon, you have to get the thick cut, and there's so many like random flavors of like maple infused bacon. No, just get like regular good smoked bacon.
I completely agree. Yeah. And I'm going to throw this one breakfast place under the bus because I don't care. You guys aren't even in the Twin Cities anymore. Old Country Buffet. You guys don't know how to make bacon. I'm sorry. That what you guys had displayed out as bacon was not bacon when I ate it. And
I will say that breakfast buffets are the way to go, though.
Yes. I love. Obviously, I love buffets in general.
Ooh, breakfast buffets with an omelet station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's pretty much a definition of a good brunch, and that's a weekend thing. And I love Sundays. I usually do Grant City. Oh, we record on Sundays, so I haven't gone for a while. That's Andy's fault. Yeah. And kind of like we were talking about with breakfast, there's good brunches and there's bad brunches. I've been to one brunch place that didn't have any meat available, or like it had like ham. I'm like, come on, not even sausage? Come on. So, as I said, we live in the Twin Cities, a lot of diversity, a lot of different good, bad food brunch places. I recommend going out and trying them all.
And I recommend, going to the Blue Door Pub. They don't have breakfast, but they got everything else. They got your ass covered. And, hey, if you got a gathering coming up, a lot of graduation parties, it's going to be wedding season, you got festivals, etc. Catering. Blue Door Pub Catering, if you got 12 or more. 12 to 900,000 million bazillion gazillions. They got you covered. Blue Sea Bar, mini Blue Seas tachos, wings, all the staples of their menu. And also, they can get creative. They got their Spam Bites. They got Latina Kisses. They have everything under the sun. And, hey, Pat and Jeremy, they'll help you out. If you have an idea, you want to run with it, they will work with you. TheBDP.com/catering. TheBDP.com/catering. All right, we'll be right back with more Bull with Andy Carlson on Monday. Are you hungry yet?
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Purple for the Win podcast with Andy Carlson. Come to you all off-season long, covering free agency, the draft, OTAs, and then we're on to training camp. Get the show on 1500 ESPN, Podcast One, and the Podcast One app.
And coming back into the Blue Door Pub Studios with Bull Breakfast with Andy Carlson. Yeah, that's what it turned into. I don't even mind. So we talked a lot about shawarma. Talked a lot about breakfast food. I feel like this has been a productive show so far.
I think people will enjoy it, or if anything, they're all like mouths are watering, or like whenever like driving to work or something. Like, oh my god, I gotta stop and get food.
Oh, it'd be great if we as Americans, as the melting pot of the world, brought in shawarma meat or gyro meat into the breakfast pantheon. So you can have your choice. The waitress is taking your order. Now, would you like sausage, bacon, or shawarma?
I think that would...
I have a dream that one day Andy will be able to get shawarma with his omelet.
Oh. That'd
be good.
Actually, that
would be amazing.
I think we should try that this summer.
Bam. That's what we're doing. Also, what we're trying is a little news.
You are fake news. Sir, go ahead.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I ain't got time to believe. You can't handle the truth.
The news with Uncle Ned.
Are you dying?
I need more tea. My glass is empty, dude.
Nah, it's okay. You got a bottle.
That's way too far away.
All right. What's in the news today, Nick?
All right, I'm going to start off with some national news for once. International news, I guess, for once. I know we all love politics, and we'll talk a little bit about some news that caught my eye this past weekend. In the country of Paraguay in South America, there have been some protesters, a lot of civil political unrest. Who would think that another country other than the United States might have some civil unrest?
I love that the South America has a sense of humor because they have a country called You Are Gay. Which was a very a source of great glee for me and my elementary school friends.
All right, well, the neighboring country of Paraguay, the political turmoil has gone so bad, protesters have actually set fire to the Congress the Congress building.
Good.
So a little backstory of this. I'm kind of reading about this now here. For the longest time, Paraguay has been under a dictatorship. A lot of South American countries were in the early mid-1900s. So part of their new regime since 1989, they've been under democracy where presidents would typically do a one-term limit. And let's see, the current president here, President Horacio, sorry if I'm totally butchering your name,
Sands.
President Cortez, a right wing, is seeking to change the Constitution to let him run again for office in 2018.
So he just wants additional terms.
Yes.
Has he been good?
I I haven't heard any really bad things about him. From what I read, it's just a lot of people are afraid of the whole, like, if we keep someone in the office longer, it just seems like a dictatorship, which, hit or miss, it could be a good thing or a bad thing.
And there's never been any de facto dictatorships in South America. The pride, the prime example of political stability.
So, as I said, this is why is this a news story for me? Why should we care, listeners, about this? Because the capital of Paraguay is Asuncion.
Dun, dun, dun.
My last name, yes. Very nerdy little news story here where...
Man, I got these cheeseburgers, man.
Nah, that doesn't work.
No, that did not work at all. But
You are one pathetic loser.
There we go.
But the capital of Paraguay is Asuncion, which is my last name, if you guys don't know. And, I'm seeing him on the news now. It's kind of disturbing. But, this might be the new regime of how world news might be now. After, the U.S. election, obviously there's been a lot of civil unrest here in America. We haven't burned down any Congress buildings yet. But, this could be the new norm.
Nah, not really. Like, I count this as just South America being South America. And plus, Paraguay, small country, landlocked, not a lot of natural resources. You're going to have a lot of unrest as it is. Would you ever move to Asuncion?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Oh, go back to Asuncion.
I would.
Now, do you think would you use that line in the barrios in the bars with the ladies, like, "Hola, cómo está, chicas? Me llamo Asuncion."
I'm very surprised. I don't think a lot
a la
of
ciudad de Asuncion.
you could easily turn this around with America, where like the name Washington is a popular last name. I'm surprised more people aren't using the name Washington as a bar pickup line.
Don't tell me that Denzel doesn't go around do that. All right, so you be the lady, I'll be Denzel. It's like, hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing tonight?
I'm named after the piece of swampland that General George Washington gave to the country and we built the Capitol on. How you doing? All right.
Here's my number.
Denzel's a good-looking dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Is he?
Also, he's Denzel in every movie. Like, he's there's many layers to what I call the Vince Vaughn scale, where Vince Vaughn is Vince Vaughn in every movie. Like, we just saw Hacksaw Ridge, and also we watched True Detective Season 2. Vince Vaughn is Vince Vaughn in everything.
Kind of like how Michael Cera is Michael Cera in every movie.
Yeah. Denzel is Denzel in every movie, but he's obviously a little bit more, has got more range than Vince Vaughn, but Denzel is always Denzel.
I like that about him.
Yeah, except for Training Day.
Who was he in Training Day?
He went somewhere else. He went somewhere dark in Training Day. He deserved that damn Oscar. They should give him 2. Oh, also, as an aside, with Paraguay, since I'm looking up shawarma recipes while you're talking about Asuncion, what annoys me the most is the food blogs. They'll have like 17 pictures of the setup, and then a novel, like not even like a short novel, like a Stephen King without his editors doing it novel, like 1,700 pages about, oh, this recipe means so much to me. My Norwegian grandma and I would make shawarma all the time. It was so good. Growing up in Woodbury, we had a great shawarma place down the street. It's like bullshit on both things, lady. Get out of here. And yeah, so you have to read through that, and finally you get to the recipe, and it's not even a well put together recipe. I was like, get out of here. Like, I just want the recipe, man.
You don't like the filler before the dish?
No. And also, a lot of these sites too, when you're on mobile, they'll just randomly scroll back to the top. So if you have the recipe up on your phone, and then you get some of the things together, then you look back and you're like, shit, I have to go Homer's the Iliad's journey through this recipe. And again, there's stupid. Anyways, what's next?
You gotta take pictures when you use your phone to do recipes or follows. Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to go into my screenshot folder though.
Whoa.
All right, what's next?
I'm at a loss for words. All right, second story. WWE, we're going to talk a little wrestling here, just announced they are going to do a 32 person tournament for the top female competitors from around the world.
Cool.
Yeah, it's all right. Andy knows this. I'm sure you guys probably know too. I was big into wrestling, the WWF, back when it was called the WWF in the 90s. 2000s kind of the wrestling business, I think, kind of fell a little bit. It's kind of doing a resurgence now with the creation of the WWE Network, to get more people involved and get more people participating and watching. There's this is kind of a good selling. I don't want to use the word selling point. A gimmick, I guess.
Are you allowed to bet on pro wrestling?
I think so.
Even though the outcome is predetermined? I feel like that would create a conflict of interest. Or maybe, like, it would make sense if, like, sport books capped the bet so that someone from the writing staff or someone with inside information couldn't go be like, put $50,000 on person XYZ to win.
That is a good point. I was going to bring that up. Because I said this is a tournament. This isn't the first tournament they've done to kind of get people to watch. But it's the first female tournament, and I question about betting because if you're setting up a tournament style, that would insist that maybe they don't know who's going to win and go to the next round.
Well, it's like if you're betting on what happens in Game of Thrones, which is also scripted. I put them in the same vein, and if you have a writer or a showrunner from Game of Thrones just betting every time, it's like who's going to die next, or is Ghoul, Dragon, Wizard, Master. I don't watch Game of Thrones. But what sport books will do is that they'll cap the bet at $500 or something small. And so, if you have inside information, you can win a couple bets. Cool, except you're not going to take the book for $100,000.
That's interesting to think about it. Wrestling, by the way, has not always been stuck on the script or kept the scripts written down. Most famously in the 90s, there was I think it's called like the Montreal or the Toronto screw job where
I got me a Toronto screw job once. Went up to Thunder Bay. It was erotic. It was where
Vince McMahon came in and stole the championship from so and so. It was scripted to have this person win, but someone else actually won it. It was a very interesting storyline.
Also, speaking of interesting storylines.
Dara, how are you? It's so good to see
Donald Trump on Monday Night Raw.
There must be some sort of mistake.
Well, I think there might be a mistake, but it's on your part, Vince. I bought this from you, right?
Oh, yes.
Well, when I buy. That means that's my office.
Where's my office?
You got down the hall. Pretty nice. Not bad. I think you'll be okay with it. It's right over there, Vince.
Really good to see you, Don. I'll talk with you later then.
Have a good time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who are you?
Hi, Mr. Trump. I'm Santina Marella. I'm Miss WrestleMania.
What the hell are you doing here?
I work here. I'm Miss WrestleMania.
Let me just tell you something. I'm doing to you tonight the same thing that I did to Miss California.
What's that?
You're fired. Get out of here. Get out of here.
See, this is when we first saw Donald Trump hating against the transgenders. He's putting transgender people out of work. How dare he?
It was a Montreal screw job, and it was Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, where I think Hart was supposed to win it, but they gave it to Shawn Michaels.
It's actually called screw job.
Yeah, screw. Yeah, where like as I said, obviously, spoiler: wrestling is fake. It's scripted.
It's still real to me, damn it.
It is still real to me. That was actually in my email.
How popular is pro wrestling with, say, kids 5 to 10 right now? It can't be anywhere near the height where it was, because I feel like pro wrestling, when you and I were kids, like that was their sweet spot. Mm-hmm. Like that was their big generation.
I don't think it's as quiet as we make it sound like it is, but I don't think it's not as big as the 90s, but I think there's that niche of players, the niche of people in which who love it.
And they're all 30, 35, just like you and I.
I don't want to use the word like the rural people, the country folk.
The Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I wish we could actually find actual data of how many people voted for Donald Trump just because they saw him on Monday Night Raw getting suplexed. Because for people vote for dumb reasons all the time. Someone voted for Donald Trump because they're like, well, I just saw him on WWE 8 years ago. I guess here we go.
Here we go, folks.
This crowd is living.
I would have done whatever I had to do, so I can't go on either side of that. I take care of myself, and that's all there is to it.
The Montreal screw job really made me hate Vince McMahon because I loved Bret Hart, and just the idea that Bret got screwed and that Vince was the one who did it, and it just made me think, oh, gosh, this guy's such a... I would never want to work for this guy.
Michaels with a sharpshooter has become champion, and Bret Hart is standing in disbelief.
I never thought I'd see Bret Hart in another WWE ring ever again.
Yeah, he was pissed. And also, to finish up the wrestling story here, by the time we're airing, WrestleMania 33, probably the biggest wrestling event of the year, would have happened and gone on. So that's interesting with, let's see if Andy knows any of these names here. I got Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens fighting, Neville, Aaron Ayers, Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. No, anyone. Yeah.
Well, I know Chris Jericho, but he's like in the national zeitgeist.
The Miz and Marcy versus John Cena and Nikki Bella.
Oh, you mean The Miz from Real World? No, he was on Real World.
Oh,
yeah.
I have no idea.
And then of course John Cena's. I actually think John Cena has better comedic chops than The Rock, and The Rock is pretty funny. Like the Rock is the forefather of moving from, or the godfather of moving from wrestling to entertainment. I think he's a solid actor, a great action star. I think John Cena has got a little bit more range.
Interesting. I don't know. I think there should be like a dance off, but for acting for against those two.
Cena, when he hosted SNL, he was great. He was funny in that movie that Daddy's Home, that we talked about last week. He's in that Ferdinand the Bull movie. I think he'll do fine there. And he was also in that really good commercial where it was like, now we got to look it up. It was like an American commercial.
AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. They brought Shane McMahon back. That's crazy. And Triple H versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. It's like they're trying to get us to come back because Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship.
Lesnar. Oh, yeah, he was in the Hefty commercials with, I think Rob Schneider was in some of these.
Nice.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, I get it, because you're so strong.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
Yeah. Get new Hefty Ultra Strong with Arm & Hammer odor control. Now costs less than Glad.
I mean, he's got some range.
He's got Filipino. That should be like a hate crime.
John Cena?
No, Rob Schneider.
Oh. There you
go. All right.
What's next?
All right. All right, a little downer story I kind of want to cover quickly was a number of stores have been closing in the United States. I kind of want to go.
How was that a downer? Survival of the fittest, Darwinism, bitch.
I know, but a lot of these are like 90 stores that are closing right now. I think a news story last week kind of made me find this website, SILive.com, listing 8 national retailer stores that are shutting a lot of its doors.
Mm-hmm.
I think Payless was the newest one that crashed. Payless Shoe Source. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Radio Shack obviously filed for Chapter 11.
Which is ironic because Payless shoes like cost just as much if you're buying them at like Target or Walmart. Like you don't pay less, you pay just as much or more.
I kind of thought that too last time I was at one. Like it wasn't like that much of a discount deal. I think a lot. Yeah, I think it's the Targets, the Walmarts, online, which I love online to death, are kind of putting these places in jeopardy. Sears is closing its stores. Kmart, which owned by the same company as Sears. Macy's, they're shutting down some Macy's, and JCPenney.
Isn't the downtown Minneapolis Macy's, wasn't that a big deal when they closed?
Yes, and the big thing about that story is that that's the only Macy's, I think, in the Twin City in Minnesota that's closing. A lot of the major malls are going to still have Macy's.
Yeah.
And the last one I want to talk about was GameStop.
Oh, GameStop.
I was a big video gamer. I'm sure me and Andy will do a show about video games one of these days. And I remember going to I'm trying to remember the big one in the 90s that kids used to go to, like Funkoland.
Yeah.
It was where we used to always buy used video games very inexpensively. GameStop, because of the Targets, because of Amazon, I mean, you can buy games for the exact same price as these GameStops, and they're just kind of all going under. I think a lot of these places, I mean, they're going to go strictly just online, or there's kind of a small niche for those old school video game places. I think every other mall has one of those stores that sell the like really old school video game places. A lot of the games are going to go there.
Oh yeah, there's this bar in Uptown. I think it was Laramie or something like that. Is going to go into like the craft beer and old school arcade video game mode too. And it's funny because people who love Uptown, which is always busy, you can barely squeeze in there. They're like, how dare they? It's like, how dare, Uptown should sue them. And sue them for the concept of, though, if we put together video games and good beer for 20s and 30-year-olds, that's going to be profitable. Who knew? Yeah.
I don't think there'd be anything illegal with it. I mean...
there's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so stupid.
Is Uptown going to try to trademark them, or
they
get a trademark infringement thing? No, that's ridiculous. It's just, I was nervous with Uptown because they tried that a few years ago, and that bar video game place didn't work out. So somehow Uptown must have a niche. They must be doing something right to be profitable and keeping people there. I love Uptown. I had a really fun time there. Drank a lot and played some awesome arcade games. It's a great. I think there should be more of them.
Yeah, and you do feel sad about these stores closing because obviously people are going to be losing their jobs, but it is retail and it is kind of all one the same. They'll be able to find new gigs, but yeah, I mean that's really the only downside of it. But because as a consumer, you are getting better prices, whether it be online, better selection with other stores as well. But yeah, RIP Sears.
It's very nostalgic. It's such that I mean we're in our 30s now. We have that generation where I cherish a lot of stuff of the 90s, and these places were the dominant sources. I didn't think Circuit City would ever go under.
Yep.
I'm surprised Best Buy is still there too.
Yeah, I went to a Best Buy last week for the first time in probably a couple of years, and it is Spartan. You can tell they're on the morphine drip. They're on beep, 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 and then they're just to their parent company, kill me, smother me with it, pull the plug. And I want to know. Also, I'm trying to think of the last time I actually went to the mall to buy something.
Ooh.
As opposed to, here we'll go to the Mall of America to walk around or stretch our legs, socialize a little bit. But, yeah, I can't think of the last time I actually went to the mall specifically to buy something. Now, yeah, if you go to the mall, you'll end up buying a couple things, sure. But just specifically going there. And what are they going to do with all the giant corner stores now that Macy's and Sears and probably a couple JCPenney's are closing too? Because, the typical mall it's set up, you got the 4 giant corner stores, right? Then you got the various stores and the wings and the walking in between. And what are they going to do with that giant space now?
They're going to movie theater,
Yep.
might some type of divided up to like multi entertainment center.
Oh, yeah.
Type of places. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I grew up and lived in Roseville, and the Rosedale Mall was a cornerstone of the city. And the mall, it's evolutionizing. It's just they're building stores within the stores, outdoors and indoors. Transforms.
Just like every empty building when we were kids, like, oh, let's turn it into laser tag.
I miss that so much.
No one liked laser tag. Oh, that's the news.
The news with Uncle Nick.
From the entire Channel 4 News team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
Sorry, Nick. We're up against the clock. I knew you wanted to talk about Lil Wayne.
He's a no-show. That's all I want to
say. Purple Drank's a hell of a drug. That is because I'm a big Lil Wayne fan. Like, his early stuff is really, really good. His later stuff, he's kind of fallen off. I have a theory that it's because of the codeine. I really do.
When I first saw that story, I didn't know. I thought it was Lil Jon, and I'm like, oh man, I love Lil Jon. And I'm like, oh, who's Lil Wayne?
I don't think Lil Jon has worked. I think Lil Jon trademarked yeah and what and huh.
So he's doing good out of royalties.
Yeah. Man. iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, YouTube, bullshow.co, and also Facebook.com/bullshow. Especially hammer on the Facebook. Producer Allie's putting up a lot of great content there every single day, and we love you guys for getting in on the ground floor. Get in on the floor. Get in on the floor. If you enjoy it, tell a friend. Spread the word. Add to the Jerome homie army. So Lil Wayne would be Lil Jerome Wayne. I guess that makes sense. Sure. John Jerome Cena. That works. It's not bad. Thanks, Producer Alley, for making me not sound so stupid today. But for Nick, I'm Andy Carlson saying annyeong, sayonara, and bye-bye. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to Bull with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Download the show on iTunes. Everyone's middle name is Jerome.